Hello guys, my name is Ajibola, but if you like, you can call me Jeeps. So today I'll be talking about the by-election that will be holding on Monday, 18th August 2025 in the riding of Battle River-Crowfoot. So basically, I'm discussing this because the leader of the opposition party here in Canada, Mr. Pierre Poilievre, will be contesting in that election. So just a bit of a background. So here in Canada, we have the parliamentary system of government, which is basically the Westminster system, whereby we have a prime minister who is appointed based on the number of seats, based on the fact that his or her party has garnered the highest number of um, acquire the highest number of seats in parliament. So it's not like the presidential system where an individual runs for president and then the candidate with the highest number of votes basically wins and becomes president. In this case, it is the leader of the party that has the highest number of seats in parliament that then goes on to become the prime minister. It's called the Westminster system, or they are popularly referred to as the parliamentary system of government. That is what we have. That is what is in place in Canada, and it is also in place in a number of other countries. It basically originated from the United Kingdom, and then it's also in place in countries like Canada. Countries like Australia. I mentioned Canada before, but countries like Australia, New Zealand, India, and a number of other countries. So that's the system that's in place here in Canada. All right. So now the leader of the opposition, Mr. Pierre Poilievre. So just part of the background I was trying to provide. 28th April 2025, back in 28th April 2025, there was a general election that took place. So the leader of the Liberal Party is Mark Carney, and then the leader of the main opposition party. There are other opposition parties, but the main opposition party, that is the party with the second highest number of seats in parliament, that was the Conservative Party of Canada. So the leader is Pierre Poilievre. Okay. Now, when the election took place, unfortunately, Mr. Pierre Poilievre lost his seat in his riding. The name of the riding that he was representing at the time was Carleton, riding of Carleton in the province of Ontario. Okay. And also, unfortunately, his party, the Conservative Party of Canada, had the second highest number of seats in parliament. So Liberal Party of Canada came first, had the highest number of seats, and won the highest number of seats rather. And then the leader of the party, McCartney, automatically became the prime minister, while the Conservative Party of Canada had the second highest number of seats in parliament. Okay, won the second highest number of seats. Okay, so because of that, they are now the main opposition party. Now, just as I said earlier, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada lost his seat. Okay, the seat in his riding. And just some additional information about the election that took place on 28th April 2025, just some additional information. The Conservative Party of Canada acquired um, some additional number of seats that they are not, I think, number of seats or probably number of votes that they are not acquired in decades. So that was quite significant. That was still some win for them, but just that it wasn't enough for them to have the highest number of seats in Parliament. All right. So now, before I go into details about why I think that Mr. Pierre Poilievre should be able to win the election of Monday, 18th August 2025. I'd like to share some information with you. So I'll be sharing my screen so that we can, go through some details, some information together. All right. Okay, so just bear with me. Okay, all right. All right, guys. So just as I said earlier, the by-election will be holding on Monday. It's scheduled to hold on Monday, 18th August 2025. And there had actually been some advanced voting that are taking place, took place on Friday, August 8th, Saturday, August 9th, and Sunday, August 10th, and Monday, August 11th, 2025. So basically, advanced voting has since closed. Okay. And then, so the main voting day is, the D-Day is Monday, August 18, 2025. Now, for that election, okay, all right. So part of the background that I should have provided, so I think I should provide it now that this is not being displayed on my screen. So I think I should provide that information. Now, one of the things that many people believe worked against Mr. Pierre Poilievre when he lost his seat in this previous riding of Carleton in the province of Ontario was the fact that the ballot was unusually long. Okay, so there's this long ballot committee, this committee called the Long Ballot Committee. Basically, they don't believe in the first past the post system, whereby they just believe that, oh, okay, so you have to affiliated with the political party, and then whoever comes out tops, the wins, and that's it. So they believe that as many people as wish to contest for elections, we built contest for elections. And so basically, they basically want as many people as possible to participate in the election. So that's in the process. There were 91 candidates in all in that riding. Okay, and Mr. Poilievre lost. Although he lost to the Liberal Party candidates in the riding, and the Liberal Party candidates said that, oh, that Mr. Poilievre lost because he didn't do his own work this time around. Actually, Mr. Poilievre had been representing that riding for about 20 years. Okay, so but the Liberal Party candidate said that, oh, Mr. Poilievre took the riding for granted. According to him, he took the riding for granted, and so that's why he lost, and that is the Liberal Party candidate, who did his own work very well, and that's why he won, and so on and so forth. So yeah. So now, what part of the background I should have provided before sharing my screen? So now, because Mr. Poilievre lost, another candidate, another person, a member of the Conservative Party of Canada, who won in his riding, of Battle River-Crowfoot in the province of Alberta. That's a totally different province. Now said, you know what, Mr. Poilievre, I'm stepping down for you so you can come contest in my riding, and then hopefully you'll be able to win, and then return to Parliament and continue in your capacity as the leader of the opposition. Because if this gentleman hadn't stepped down for Mr. Poilievre, and if no one else was willing to step down for him, he would not be able to return to Parliament, and therefore would lose his status as the leader of the opposition party, that's the Conservative Party of Canada. But now, if he wins, he will be able to continue as leader. If he loses, um, then that's it. He won't be able to continue as leader of the opposition party. Okay, so now I think I've provided enough context. I hope I have not missed anything out. So now Mr. Damien Kurek, who won the election in this riding, Battle River-Crowfoot in the province of Alberta, um, he won on 28th, he won in the last election, general election of 28th April 2025. So he stepped down from Mr. Poilievre, and Pierre Poilievre will be contesting come Monday, contesting as the Conservative Party of Canada candidate in that riding come Monday, August 18, 2025. All right, so now, unfortunately, I don't know whether to say unfortunately, but another challenge that that has arisen again in this, and I want to believe that Mr. Poilievre is worried about this challenge, is the fact that those guys, the longest ballot committee, have decided to, quote and unquote, follow Mr. Well, should I say quote unquote, because I'm actually not quoting anybody, but they have decided to follow Mr. Poilievre to this province. So should I say that they followed him to this province, or well, they just felt, oh, there's another election. You know what? Let's go to this riding. So basically, they decided to come to this riding and to say, you know what? This time around, we are bringing in over 200 candidates to contest this election, uh, and this is quite challenging, considering the fact that Mr. Poilievre lost the last election when he contested with like 90 other candidates, most of whom were independent candidates. Majority of them were, in other words, they were not affiliated with any political party. And this time around, he has to contest with over 200 candidates. So from the little research that I did, there are about 214 candidates that are contesting. Um, only 10 of them are affiliated with political parties, while 204 other candidates the other 204 candidates are not affiliated with any political party at all. Okay. So now, because of this, because of this Elections Canada, which is in charge of organizing elections in Canada, now said we are we are coming up with a different uh, ballot paper this time around. So the ballot paper that was in use in the last general election, that's the election of 28th April 2025. So for most, in most ridings, where it basically, I think it's in all the ridings, basically. So you would basically just have the names of, you have the name of the candidates, the name of the party next to their names, and then you now select, indicate your candidate of choice by placing a mark next to the name of the candidate. All right. So let's say the name of the candidate is Mr. A and the name of his party is XYZ. So you find Mr. A, XYZ. And then if that is your choice, just place a mark next to that. Okay, so that was what was in place at the time. But this time around, Elections Canada is saying, no, that's not what we are going to do. Okay, and that's because of this excessively long. I mean, the ballot would be excessively long if they should do that. We are talking about 214 candidates. So instead of having all 214 candidates on a single ballot paper, um, let's just make it a writing system. Okay, so let me just read directly from one of the frequently asked questions. So it says, changes to the ballot for the by-election in Battle River-Crowfoot. Will the ballot for this by-election look any different from ballots used in other elections? So it says yes. The answer is yes. The ballot for the Battle River-Crowfoot by-election will look different from the ones electors and candidates have seen in the past. This is due to a higher than usual number of candidates and limitations of the large ballots that have been used in some previous elections. Elections Canada has created an adapted ballot that is similar to a special ballot in which electors write the name of the candidate they are voting for. This adapted ballot will replace the typical list-style ballot on which electors place a mark circle next to the name of their candidate of choice. The adapted ballot will retain the safeguards of the typical ballot. So basically, people will be writing in, and then will be writing in the names of their preferred candidates, and and afterwards drop the ballot paper in the ballot box. Okay, so that's the system that will be in use in place this time around. Now, before I tell you, we go into the reason why I think that Mr. Poilievre should be, Mr. Pierre Poilievre should be able to win this election. Let's look at what had happened in the past. Okay, so a little background about the longest ballot committee. So I did some search online, and it says the longest ballot committee is a Canadian activist movement. At one time affiliated with the Rhinoceros Party, known for flooding ballots with a large number of independent candidates in protest of the first past the post voting system. The movement argues there's a conflict of interest when politicians are in charge of election rules and advocates for election law to be decided by a permanent, independent, and non-partisan body such as a citizens' assembly. So basically, that's what these guys are about. Now, I said something earlier that it seemed to me, I mean, when Mr. Pierre Poilievre contested in his former riding, or the riding that he had been representing for about 20 years, that's the riding of Carleton in the province of Ontario, Canada. Um, he had to contest with 91 other candidates, most of whom were independent candidates. There were some other candidates, a few candidates, a handful of candidates that were affiliated with some political parties, but the majority of them were independent candidates just because of these guys, the longest ballot committee. So then, this time around, he's contesting with 200 and he's contesting against 213 other candidates. 10 of them, nine of those other candidates. So if nine of them are of those other candidates are affiliated with some political parties. So if you add in to that nine, it will be 10 in all. If you add Pierre Poilievre to that nine, it will be 10, a total of 10 candidates that are affiliated with political parties. So, and then the remaining 204 candidates are not affiliated with any political party. They are all independent candidates. And again, it's because of these guys, longest ballot committee. So initially I felt, okay, so is it like Pierre Poilievre is being targeted? Are they doing this intentionally to make him lose this riding again? Okay. But then when I checked this page, I came with an open mind and I felt, okay, so let's see, have these guys been involved in some other elections in the past where they had to flood ballot papers with the names of candidates, like independent candidates. And, when I did my search, my little research, so to speak, I found this. Now, for this 2019 federal election, this riding, Regina Capel, okay, the person that the Conservative Party candidate that was representing that riding at the time was the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada at the time, Andrew Scheer. Andrew Scheer was, representing the Conservative Party of Canada in this riding at that time. So I thought, there you go. I think these guys are, initially, that was the initial thought. I think these guys are targeting Conservative Party candidates, especially Conservative Party candidates who are in leadership, who are probably leaders of the party. But then when I checked these other ones, I realized that, okay, though it doesn't look like they are targeting the Conservative Party. Okay, so for example, the convent in the 2021 federal election in the province, in the riding of Saint Boniface and Saint Vital, the convent was a Liberal Party candidate. I don't know the person's name. And that candidate, or the Liberal Party, I don't know if it was the same person that still stood contested that election, but basically the same party still won that election. Same thing in the riding of Mississauga Lakeshore. The Liberal Party was the incumbent, the Liberal Party was the incumbent, and they still retained that seat. And the riding of Winnipeg South Centre, same thing here. It was in the riding of Kitchener Centre. It was a New Democratic Party, but the Greens won this time around. And basically what I'm trying to say is that there were other ridings where these guys flooded the ballots with names of with independent candidates, basically, and the incumbents in those ridings were not necessarily Conservative Party candidates or the Conservative Party of Canada per se. And so basically, so this now made me got me convinced that, okay, so it's not like they're targeting Mr. Pierre Poilievre or the Conservative Party of Canada, although one would never know their true intentions 100%, but from the look of things, from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like he's being targeted. Okay, so these guys are just going about their business and they don't care if the number of candidates is 200, 100. all they want is, hey, as many people should be able to contest. It shouldn't be politicians that will decide who would win or who contest and things like that. As many people as are willing to contest, they should be able to come and contest. So basically that's it for them. All right, so having said that, so now another thing I did was to now check. So just as I said earlier, when I actually checked regarding the election that it will be taking place on Monday. So I checked, so I saw the list on the Elections Canada website here. I saw the list on the Elections Canada website. Just give me one sec. So voter information. So what I did was to copy this list and then paste in this Excel spreadsheet. So in order to determine the number of candidates. So I realized that there are 214 in all, 214 candidates in all. So, and I decided to filter, okay, how many of them are affiliated with the political party, how many of them are not affiliated with political parties, okay. So I did I filtered, and then, let's say, okay, so I filtered, all right. So I just basically okay, so I removed independent and blanks. And what do we have? So it says 10 out of 217 records found. So basically, only 10 candidates are affiliated with political parties. And one of them is Pierre Poilievre of the Conservative Party of Canada. And then I felt, okay, so let's check and then confirm the ones that are independent candidates. And what we have, so it's here, it says 204 of 217 records found. So yeah, talking about 204 candidates that are not affiliated with any political party. So that's what we have ahead of the election, going into the election of Monday, 18th August 2025. Now, why do I think Mr. Pierre Poilievre should be able to win this election? Number one, the party, yeah, so for this riding of Battle River-Crowfoot, okay, in this riding of Battle River-Crowfoot, they've always, at least in recent years or in recent election cycles or in past elections, they've been voting for the Conservative Party of Canada, at least in the last, so what I just did was to check the last 3 or 4 elections. Okay, and I noticed the same thing. It's the Conservative Party of Canada that won that riding. So just as I said earlier, the last election of general election of 28th April 2025, and the Liberal Party, sorry, the Conservative Party of Canada won that. The Conservative Party of Canada won that election won the election in that riding, and Mr. Damien Kurek of the Conservative Party of Canada won. Okay. Now, what I also did was to check the results for 2021. Okay, the general election of 2021 in Battle River-Crowfoot. Mr. Damien Kurek was the one that contested of the Conservative Party of Canada. Mr. Damien Kurek of the Conservative Party of Canada was the one that contested. I'm sorry. Mr. Damien Kurek was the one that contested on the platform of the Conservative Party of Canada, and he won back in 2021. Here it says elected candidate Damien Kurek, Conservative. And I also checked I checked for 2019. So here it says 2019. All right, so 2019, 43rd general election, 2019, poll by poll results. And it was still Damien Kurek of the Conservative Party of Canada that won in that riding. And I also checked for 2015. 2015. So there was also a general election in 2015. Okay, 2015 general election, 42nd general election, 2015. And it was still, this time around, it wasn't Damien Kurek that represented the Conservative Party of Canada. It was Kevin Sorensen that represented the party, and he was the one that won. Okay, so basically, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that so this has become a pattern. Okay, so this has become a pattern. So we have talking. I've looked at 3 election cycles now, or 3 elections that were organized. The last 4 elections, rather, the last 4 elections that were organized in that riding, and it was still the Conservative Party of Canada that won. So because of this, so the party has history on its side in terms of performance in that riding, in performance in elections in that riding. So because of that, I think that they should be able to win that election now. Besides that, another factor is the fact that the ballot that is going to be used for this election is going to be different. So this time around, it's not going to be a list. There wouldn't be a list of candidates and then you having to place a mark next to the name of your preferred candidate. No, what you'll be doing this time around is that you'll be writing the name of the candidate. Now, how many people will be able to remember the names of those independent candidates? I doubt it. Although I've been hearing the name of a certain Bonnie Critchley, who is an independent candidate. I understand that she's relatively popular. She's from the town or from the riding. People know her. She's a veteran and things like that. I think she's from that riding. And I think she resides in the riding. I'm not too sure, but I think so. And then she's a veteran, but basically people know her and all. But I think Pierre Poilievre is more of a household name than Bonnie Critchley. Okay, so Pierre Poilievre also is quite popular. People know him to be a fierce debater, and people know him to be someone who, he took on the immediate past prime minister on the floor of Parliament. It was like he debated issues with him, and most of the issues that he debated with the erstwhile prime minister were issues that were actually affecting the average Canadian. Issues like the cost of living, inflation was just going through the wasn't the inflationary trend was getting worse by as time went by. Things like jobs, people not having been, people losing their jobs, or people not being able to, get jobs, people lining up in front of the lines, according to him, the line in front of food banks increasing and things like that. So, some people felt that these were things that were affecting also the issue of housing. I forgot to mention that. So, some people felt that these are things that were affecting the average Canadian, so they could relate with that. And so basically, he has his. So I want to believe that people will be able to easily remember the name and say, "Oh, Pierre Poilievre. All right, so let me write in the name." Okay, so they don't have to search through a list of 214 people before, being able to place a mark next to Pierre Poilievre's name or place a mark next to someone else's name and all that. So they just go in, remember, oh, Conservative Party of Canada, it's Pierre Poilievre. Oh, he has a name, we know him already. So all right, so let's vote for him. So for those 2 reasons, I think that this should be an easy win for Pierre Poilievre. Number one, the fact that historically, or at least in the last 4 elections, the Conservative Party of Canada has won that riding, the riding of Battle River-Crowfoot, and also the fact that people will be able to easily remember the name of Pierre Poilievre and simply be able to write in the name and drop the ballot in the box and That's basically, so he's basically the most popular candidate on the ballot, or that is standing for election, or that is contesting. And then also the party is a household name. And that's the riding of Battle River-Crowfoot is a stronghold of the Conservative Party of Canada. So I don't think that, all things being equal, I think that the Conservative Party of Canada should be able to win this election. And by the time they win, of course, Mr. Pierre Poilievre will be able to return to Parliament. And also, currently, the acting leader of the Conservative Party of Canada is Mr. Andrew Scheer. So hopefully, if Mr. Poilievre wins, he'll be able to take back his status as the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada will be restored. Okay, so if he wins, his status will be restored, and then he'll be able to continue performing his duties as the leader of the party. Right now, he's even still performing his duties, making statements, criticizing the government where he feels that the government has gone wrong and all that. But then it will be interesting to see him back in Parliament, debating and slugging it out with Mr. McCartney, who is the Prime Minister, because he knows how to debate. I mean, Pierre Poilievre knows how to be debate, and he knows how to keep the leaders on their toes. He knows how to keep the party in power on its toes, members of the party, the leaders of the party on their toes. So he knows how to debate it fiercely, and it will be interesting to see him back in Parliament, doing what he knows how to do, and then slugging it out with the new Prime Minister. So what do you guys think? Do you think Mr. Poilievre will win this election? Are you looking forward to seeing him return to Parliament? I'm looking forward to seeing him return to Parliament, not because I'm actually not a card-carrying member of the Conservative Party of Canada, but I just like the fact that the guy, that's Mr. Pierre Poilievre, I'm not trying to say he's perfect, but he knows how to speak to issues. He knows how to point out issues. He knows how to, keep the party in power on its toes. He knows how to keep the prime minister on his toes. He knows how to, basically debate, and I find that to be interesting. So I would also be looking forward to, I mean, if, for example, the Conservative Party of Canada were to be the party that won the last election, and as a result, if they had produced the prime minister, and if any of the opposition parties, had a leader that could also debate fiercely, I would also have been looking forward to that leader returning to Parliament. So basically, this has nothing to do with the fact that Pierre Poilievre is representing the Conservative Party of Canada, but it has more to do with the fact that, hey, we need someone who will be able to put the party in power on its toes, put government on its toes, and also put the prime minister on his toes. Debate issues, point out issues. That's one of the interesting things about the Westminster system. It's not perfect. The presidential system too is not perfect. But one of the interesting things about the Westminster system is that they put the opposition and then the party in power can, have a face-off, and then have a one-on-one, how do I put it now? Have a face-off and then go head-to-head on the floor of Parliament. So what do you guys think? So please do drop your comments your opinion in the comment section. And I'm still trying to grow my channel. So yeah, so on YouTube, just do youtube.com/@analyticaljeeps. On WhatsApp, I'm on WhatsApp. That's the WhatsApp channel. I have a WhatsApp channel. Just type in search for Analytical Jeeps, and you'll find my WhatsApp channel. On Instagram, it's instagram.com/analyticaljeeps. And on X, formerly known as Twitter, so just it's x.com/analyticaljeeps. Okay. And then if you want to reach me via email, that's analyticaljeeps gmail.com. All right. All right. So thank you so much for staying tuned till the end. And I look forward to interacting or sharing more with you in the next video. Thank you.